Happy Friday, Team Omega parents and students. Mr. Purcell here, and thought I would reach out in a little bit different way through video instead of just sending you an email. Everything I am going to say in this video is in the email, so if you'd rather just read the email, that's fine. Of course, you can use that as a cross-reference as well in case you forget anything that I might say. Just wanted to reach out and hope that this first week of distance learning was great for you. It's been a little bit of a learning curve for teachers, and I'm sure it has been for you as well. Please understand that we are trying to make things a little bit easier over the next few weeks as we continue to transition into this. And I say continue to transition because it is something that it's not going to be perfect. Hopefully by the end we're close to it, but it's not going to be. I do want to say that we appreciate all of the flexibility that you have had and continue to help us help you in this learning process. One way that we are being required to reach out is through our home bases. So if you have not heard from any teacher except for your home base, that's because each of us as teachers have about 140 to 150 students. And so trying to reach out to that many students is difficult. And so we've been asked to really keep in contact with our home base students, which is only about 20 students. Not to say you may not, or that you might hear from core teachers or other even elective teachers, but it makes it a little bit easier for reaching out. For students and for parents, if you have specific questions about a subject, you can reach out to that teacher and they should be responding to you. But when it comes to making and continuing those relationships, looking at just the 20 students is a little bit easier than 150. You do know that we do have office hours. Those are posted on my website. I have a calendar on there that was for assignments. I have changed it to office hours. But also in the email is the office hours of each individual teacher for Team Omega. If you have other elective teachers who are not listed on that, feel free to contact them and they'll contact you when they can. The best contact is probably through email, but you might get phone calls or texts separate from that. When it comes to working on the project, we are trying to make things a little bit easier for students. And so when it comes to turning in any assignments, you can do that through your home-based classroom. Next week, you may see things written a little bit differently in there as we are trying to work together as a team to make it that way. So if you have any questions on that, contact your home-based teacher next week when you see all of the new information and it could help you out. One thing that we are trying to do is give you some supplemental things to go along with the distance learning project. And so you can find those things in your home base starting next week as well. Along with that, some teachers have extra things that you could do because we know that you as students might want to do a little bit more than just what's required in the project. And parents, you might want your child to do a little bit more instead of just that little bit of work. It is all optional to do those things, but you can find those things. For instance, for math, you can always work on ALEKS. You can also work on practice sheets. I'm still doing them. And so if you want to do those practice sheets and then send me a picture of it, I can give you some feedback on those things. I know Mrs. McKinney and Mrs. Tallman and Mrs. Baldwin have also put some other things, just some extra stuff. And I know that elective teachers have done that as well. So feel free to do any of that stuff and reach out and ask them and stuff like that. It's just things just to kind of help us get through this time. Again, when it comes to turning items in, just worry about doing that on Google Classroom. If you're not able to do that through Classroom, hopefully you've already talked with your home-based teacher about that. I, for one, have a few students who are just texting me pictures, and so that is perfectly fine to do. Just reach out to your home-based teacher about what is the best way to turn things in. But I also want to say that we don't have to turn things in for the project. If you just want to have the conversation and just share a little bit about what you've learned by this trip of going around the world, that's fine as well. And so we are being very flexible and understanding that not everyone has the same access to technology and the same things like that. And so we do want to help you and help you to understand that it's not a requirement to turn things in online. Lastly, I wanted to share, last week I sent out an email about Jack Berkmeyer and a webinar that he did. I am attaching that in the email. It is a link to his webinar that he did on Monday. The first 30 minutes is him just kind of talking to parents. He is comical and just shares some ideas of what you can do at home to help your preteen, teenage student be successful in school, but also to where you as a family maybe don't, we're stuck all in homes. We understand it. And so hopefully he can give some insights of what you can do as a family just to make it through this difficult time. The first 30 minutes is him talking, and then the next 30 minutes is him answering some questions that people had during the webinar. Feel free to watch that. You don't have to, but it is something that I listen to myself, and he has some great advice for you. So again, if you have any questions, feel free to contact any of the Omega teachers. We're here to help, but excited to move on. Students, check your email. I sent out a form for you to fill out, just about a little bit of information to help me with the math, but and know how to help you, but also some information about a possible team meeting in a couple of weeks. With that being said, I want to apologize. I sent out a link on Monday for the team meeting, and then I realized some people didn't get it. And then I think it was yesterday, I received an email from our tech department saying that I sent an email during the time that for some reason the email didn't go out. So I know that some of you didn't get into our meeting and you emailed me after we had our meeting. And so I apologize to that. I don't know what happened with the system, but hopefully that won't happen again in the future. If it does, we'll just continue to work through that. So technology is the way it is. So anyway, I hope everyone's doing well. I miss seeing students. I miss you all. Every day I think about the number of kids who come in and out of my classroom, and I really do miss it. So I hope you're doing well. If you need anything, reach out. But I hope you all have a great weekend. For many of you, it is a holiday weekend. I hope that it is the best that it can possibly be during this time. So have a great one, and we'll catch you guys later.